Today's the big day, so go vote. Let your voice be heard. Blue, red, doesn't matter. Put your voice out there. Hopefully you, morals versus ethics, hopefully you know where to go. But
The movie. That's the thing. If you're listening to this on Election Day, go vote. And if you're listening to this after Election Day, God help us all.
welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. This week we watched Election by Alexander Payne. And in this episode, you have me, Dylan, Ben, Zach, and
Hi.
Cameron. And to kick this thing off and get everybody in the right mood, we're going to talk about our cocktail. This week, we're drinking El Presidente, a rum-based cocktail. The El Presidente is a classic rum cocktail that originated in Havana, Cuba in the late 1920s, and it's named for President Gerardo Machado. The cocktail was traditionally made with Bacardi, the biggest name in Cuban rum. But if you're a little bitch and you buy cheap rum like I do, you use Captain Morgan. For this cocktail, your ingredients are light rum, dry vermouth, orange curacao, and a dash of grenadine. And I'm a fan. I'm a big rum guy, and it's not too sweet. And I'd recommend it. You can definitely taste the orange curacao.
Yeah, I recommend this one quite a bit. I know we're gonna get probably a not great review from Cam because of the vermouth in it, but I think it does a lot for the drink. Dylan's right about the orange. I dropped a couple little cherries in mine. I'd recommend that too.
Oh, I wish I had cherries just floating around the house, but I'm not that fancy.
When you live in Michigan, they're everywhere apparently. That's all I hear
I was
from the
gonna say,
marketing folks.
I also don't like
That's pure Michigan.
cherries that much. One year for Christmas, my grandma sent us, what is it, Cherry Republic?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
the thing
Yep.
in Ann Arbor?
Yep.
She sent us like a whole gift box, and it's like, all right, here's your cherry biscuits and your cherry wine and
Chocolate
your cherry
covered cherries.
salsa. It's like, all right, calm down.
Their cherry salsa
What is this,
though
Traverse
is
City?
stupid good.
Oh my god, it's so
Cherries
good.
on fire salsa is delicious. I have some in
Guys,
the fridge downstairs.
We need to get a Cherry Republic sponsorship so we can get that free salsa.
Honestly, I would
Oh,
give
dude.
up all of our sponsorships except for Surfside Sips for a Cherry Republic sponsorship.
It is the holiday season, so Cherry Republic, hit us up.
Our listeners are your fan base.
Michiganders. No, I will say this was to continue a nice break from bourbon. As much as I am a fan of bourbon, it's kind of nice to take a break from it every once in a while.
So if you make a El Presidente, tweet us, Instagram us, Reddit us. I don't know how that one works.
Friend us on Reddit like the kids do.
Yes.
The youths.
Check it out on TikTok. At Cocktails and Classics Pod on Instagram. Fuck whatever our Twitter is.
Yeet.
Send us a picture if you make one. Tell us what you think about the El Presidente.
Yeah, our Twitter
the
account
hashtag.
is just Dylan's leftist meme account now.
Shh. No one needs to know about that. Cocktails and Classics is Antifa propaganda.
Cocktails and Classics on Twitter follows John Ossoff, so.
And Gretchen Whitmer. So.
And most importantly, Jeff Goldblum.
So this week we watched 1999 Alexander Payne film Election, starring Matthew Broderick, Reese Witherspoon, Chris Klein, Jessica Campbell, who has never been in anything else. It currently sits at a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. I guess you would describe it as a dark comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was nominated for one Oscar, Best Adapted Screenplay from the novel by Tom Perrotta. Election is the story of a high school teacher's personal life that becomes complicated as he works with students during the school election, particularly with an obsessive overachiever determined to become student body president. None of us have seen this film, I'm pretty sure.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
So this will be, I think, a first for us that no one has seen the movie before.
Season 2 gets fucking hype.
It gets weird over here on season 2. What did we think
This
about
movie,
election?
Yeah, this movie was not at all what I expected it going in. I was like, okay, it's in a movie about a high school election. There's kind of I haven't seen it yet, but there's kind of a similar movie on, well, maybe it's not similar, but there is a movie about a high school election on Netflix now that's like not that, it's like really new. But I did not expect the whole, like, teacher child angle, and I did not, like, that was, I didn't expect
The blowjob scene.
I didn't expect any of this. Like, this was weird. I mean, I thought it was funny. Like, I thought the satire was good, but
Yeah,
I
I
did
geared
not
up for
go
this
into this
movie
going
thinking
into
it'd be like a family-friendly, him versus
What is
her
rated R?
class president thing. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that going in either, but it is rated R.
And then it hits Matthew Broderick's friend, whatever the teacher's name is. and
Dave
his little
Novotney.
Dave Novotney. His opening line, you're like, oh, this is a different movie. And then there's a few other scenes where it just it goes back and forth between just, oh yeah, we're having fun, it's a high school movie, there's some just, low stakes drama. And then there's high stakes drama. And then back to the low stakes drama. Really took me by surprise.
I feel like there's a cut of this movie that's like on the Disney Channel somewhere.
Sure,
Yeah.
they took like
You know what I mean?
18
They
minutes
took
out.
Yeah, they just took a bunch out. But Cameron, I think you said it wasn't what you were expecting from the beginning. I will say this movie kept taking turns like
That's
halfway
true.
through. I'm like, okay, I know where this movie's gonna go now. Oh no, what the hell is going on? Where are we at now? And then we'd keep going along. I'm like, okay, I think I understand what's going on. Makes sense. Right turn. Where are we? What is this movie doing? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you get I think is it Matthew Broderick's narration first, and
Yeah.
then you get Tracy's, and you're like, all right, okay, so you're getting the two viewpoints. Well, and then fucking Paul comes in, and you're getting Paul's
Yeah.
narration. Then Tammy comes in out of like left field. It's like, I'm running for president too. Also, I like girls. And you're just like, okay.
No,
all
no.
right.
She doesn't like girls, but every person she's ever been attracted to happens to be a woman.
She likes
It's an important
the
distinction.
personality, but they
Yeah.
all happen.
She likes the
So-
wine, not the label. You know what I
We
mean?
would call Tracy a pansexual, I believe.
Yes. I don't
She
know.
is pansexual.
Yes, I guess.
From her description, that's what I
Yeah,
got out
yeah.
of
I
it.
think that's
she
right.
would
She likes the
self-identify as pansexual.
Yes.
The part where the janitor, like, he's like cleaning out the fridge, because like the first part of the movie, you're just like, all right, like, what is gonna happen here? Because like Matthew Broderick's going through, and he's like doing his morning workout. He showers, and he's just going about his day. He goes into the teacher's room, and he starts like cleaning out the fridge to put his food in there, and like the Chinese food misses, and the janitor's standing right there,
Oh, yeah.
and he's like so offended and just keeps walking.
I knew as soon as that happened, I didn't know how, but I knew that was going to play a major role in that movie. As soon as it hung on the janitor's face, you're just like, yep, this is going to come back.
It's
Hey,
so
I've got a
funny when
question.
it did come back. It would just like did the same thing. Like he just had a stare down between him and the janitor for a solid like 10 seconds.
I got a question. The janitor, is that Milton from Office Space?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought they looked alike, and I know Office Space came out the same year.
No, Milton in
this-
Office Space is Stephen Root, and he's been in a bunch of other stuff.
This man has only
Gotcha.
been in this movie.
Okay. So you discount
Wow.
Milton.
Which we'll get into fun facts about Milton when we do our Office Space episode, because I have some fun trivia on that.
Ooh.
The whole like finale could have been solved if he literally just took the ballots out of the trash and threw them
Well,
out
what's
at the
Yeah.
house.
Or put him in
What's
his pocket.
so insane is you see him drive to a dumpster to throw away a bunch of other shit. Why would you not take it to that same dumpster?
Yeah.
Just cough and put it in your fucking pocket.
Yeah, put it in your pocket. If he put it in his pocket, it would have been fine. I mean, he shouldn't have done it in the first place, but like he
How bad is it that kid doesn't vote for himself and it ends up
I
costing him the election?
Okay, yeah, that That
It's-
kid was the most like wholesome kid in the world.
know.
Like I swear, like in a lot of movies, like the jock is like a giant asshole, but he's such a nice guy. He just he loves his sister, he loves his family. He
That's
like
Chris Klein, man.
he thinks that people just want to like he's like, oh, Trish, no, she's awesome or whatever. Yeah, it's like
Tracy. Yeah.
Tracy. Yeah, sorry.
I
it's
love-
like Tracy's. Yeah, no, she's great.
I love his outcome at the end. He's just like, yeah, I didn't get it, and I didn't play football, but that's all right. I went to Nebraska. I early rushed Fidel, and we threw a bitchin' Mexican party at my dad's cement factory.
And then
was
at the
just
end,
like,
didn't he say something like, "Or maybe I'd be dead"?
Yeah, he turns to the camera and says it too, though. It's
Yeah.
like
Right,
breaks the
yeah.
fourth wall.
Fourth wall, or maybe I'd be dead.
God.
I like when Tammy gets her way, when she stumbles while she's suspended on the girls' soccer team and is like, "This is where I want to be." She confesses, and they're like, "We're gonna send you to the Immaculate Heart." Do you think this is funny?
Yeah.
Do you think this is?
And they're
he's
doing
just
all
like,
girls school.
There was a lot of bits that made me crack up, and I was like, I don't know if I necessarily if I felt bad about it, but when he pulls up next to the kid, after the rigging of the election and stuff, he pulls up next to the kid, and the kid rolls down his window, and it's super awkward, and I'm like, oh, the kid just wants to talk to him, and then he spits on his window.
spits on his car. Ugh. If you want to talk about cringe moments, the times he calls,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
Linda.
that was awful.
Linda.
When he calls Linda,
Oh my
he's like,
God.
"I love you." Stop saying that.
Oh Jesus! I'm sorry. I'm just. I'm so upset. And it's just dude, you brought this upon yourself.
He's such a dick. God
You know,
damn it.
Their accents, I think it's based in Nebraska. Their accents
Yeah,
kind of
Omaha.
reminded me of Minnesota.
Yeah, it did
Omaha.
remind me of Midwestern stuff.
And I
yeah.
was just now I find that I'm kind of Jim he's pretty much Jerry from Fargo.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's kind of the wet paper towel, but he's also a criminal sort of thing.
Yeah, it's his fault, but yeah, he's a wet blanket.
What blows my mind is just, and I guess it's supposed to be the irony of the movie, is that he does all of this because he's afraid of being seduced by a teenage girl,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to ruin his marriage. So what does he do? Sleeps with his friend's ex-wife.
I don't know if
and
they ever
ruins
slept
his
together.
marriage.
Did they sleep together?
No, they did not.
Yeah.
They were going to.
Are you sure?
Yes, they did not do it.
They made out
They
on
were
the
going
floor.
to at the
Scene.
motel.
It
In
was
their
like we
front
couldn't stop. We knew there was no way that we'd be able to stop.
Yeah,
then it
no,
cuts.
they did not do it.
Oh, I thought they did.
You got
I don't know
because
if they ever say
shows
that. Did they
them-
ever say whether they did or not?
Well,
Because
it
I know
shows
they were
them,
going to go
like-
to the motel to do it later. But
Yeah, but it shows them making out and falling to the floor, and then it cuts to them
They're
being in the car,
straddling.
and they said, and then I'm pretty sure, yeah, he says we knew we couldn't. What is he? Something. along
Dylan's got
lines
the
of-
I
inside
don't think they-
scoop. Dylan talked to Matthew
I don't think
today.
they did. I think I looked it up though. I think on
When you got a call from Matthew Broderick.
I think on Wikipedia it literally says.
Let's get Mr. Broderick on the call. Let's get his opinion on all of this.
Hey, Matt. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh, hi, Dylan.
I just wanted to know in the 1999 election with Alexander Payne, did you bang Linda at the part where you guys couldn't stop?
You mean the characters, or did I sleep with the actress?
yes.
Because yes.
Okay, so actually I am wrong. On here it says the day before the election, Jim visits Linda Novotney, Dave's ex-wife, who initiates sex by kissing him. So they do bang. They then ask to rent a hotel room for an after-school rendezvous, but she fails to show. So
They did the sex. You heard
It's
it here
hard because
first.
on
ladies
one
and gents.
hand, she did initiate that, but on the other hand, he definitely should have known better.
Oh well, yeah, but I think the main reason
It's
that
such a complex,
assumed
like,
that it's
situation.
assumed that they do end up sleeping together is that I feel like it, when he goes to the house and she's there with his wife, I feel like that wouldn't have been, if they just made out, I feel like it would not have been as severe.
Maybe.
for this movie.
But
I
yeah,
don't
you're
know.
probably
It's
right.
just me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the fact that he literally ruins his life because he's worried if this girl wins this election, he's going to sleep with her and ruin his life.
Well, but I guess he doesn't necessarily ruin it. Like, he's kind of peppy about moving to New York and being a tour guide at the museum.
I don't know. To me, that came across as like the same way, like you're just kind of. It's not like it's a good thing. It's just you've accepted that your life is bad.
You've accepted your fate.
I mean, probably.
Like that did not come across as like, yeah. And then this, it's more like, and yeah, I teach again, and it's like, that's what you tell yourself,
Kind of.
so you feel good.
Right.
Yeah. And at the end, when he's like, yeah, I don't hate Tracy anymore. But why is she getting in that bucking limo? And then like throws the
He throws the
smoothie at her.
smoothie at
Who
her.
does she think she is?
I guess we could kind of move on to like if there's favorite lines from anyone. There's a few in here for me, but there's the one when Matthew Broderick's character Jim is when he's counting the votes, and he sees Tracy in the hallway. He's like, the sight of Tracy at that moment affected me in a way I can't fully explain. Part of it was that she was spying, but mostly it was her face. Who knew how high she would climb in life? How many people would suffer because of her? I had to stop her now. Over a high school election. It's just,
I loved in that same scene when they're talking about counting the votes, and he's just like, Larry, we're not electing the fucking Pope. Just tell me who won.
I got one for you, but it's kind of long.
uh-oh. Is it the prayers?
No, it's not the prayers. Those are really good, though. As many of you know, I broke my leg pretty bad this year, and the experience has helped me reevaluate what I want to do with my life, and that has helped people. When you think about it, a school is more than a school. It's our second home where we spend all our time and grow as individuals in a community. But our school is everything it could be. I want our school to reach its true potential. That's why I'm running for president. I know what it is to fight hard and win, like when we almost went to state last fall, and I threw the fourth quarter pass against Westside for the touchdown that won the game by 3 points. I won't let you down like I didn't then, and I promise we can all score a winning touchdown together. Vote Paul Metzer for president. Thank you.
Wow, that was a perfect reenactment.
It was
Wow,
so
that was
funny. I
well
just
done.
read that through, like clearly that had been written for him, and he just like did not understand it.
Oh, you think that was written for him? I feel like it was one of those assignments that Matthew Broderick gave him. Like, I want you to go home and put everything you have into this. And this is what he came up with.
Oh, I
No,
feel like
see,
he definitely
I thought-
had that
I
written
thought-
for him. That his
I thought
girlfriend wrote it for him.
Lisa wrote it for
Yeah.
him.
Oh, okay.
Who then broke up with him after he lost the election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also one of my favorite parts is when he's like he can't sleep, so he goes down to his basement and like
oh my god.
in the under the blankets he lifts up the fake bottom of the cabinet. There's just a bunch of porn.
Really had his porn stash tucked
And
away.
it's the
But just
football.
the yes, and the cringy
Touchdown.
dialogue.
That's the name of it.
I know a play we can practice. You be the quarterback, I'll be tight end.
Well, it's messed up because it's literally a high school porn, and he teaches in high school. It's like, ew, dude.
Well,
that's
he's like
gross.
watching the football thing, and then he's like, they're like, you be the quarterback, I'll be the tight end, and then he's like, I know, Paul, the ex-quarterback. He can run
The
for
thing is,
student
like,
body
it's
president.
supposed to, like, it's basically leading you to the fact that he's thinking about having sex with a high schooler, and then he's just like, Paul.
God.
God. I was also gonna quote that one. Also, just all of the like, the scene when he's banging his wife, and they're doing it like doggy style, and
All
and
the
she's
faces
like, "Oh,
seeing the other
you're gonna do
women.
it? Fill me up, and then it like all the like pop like heads pop up and like go over the over his wife's head, and it's like Linda, and then Tracy comes up. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
God, it's so gross.
I just love. You feel so bad for Paul, but he's just such a lovable gump. Like when he's driving around in the truck, Paul Power, Paul for president, promise.
Yeah, like
Progress.
Chris Klein plays the same
Peanuts.
character in American Pie. Just a lovable jock.
I think he's a bit smarter in American Pie.
Well, he's older, he graduated
Yeah.
from high school in Omaha, and now he's going up to,
East
West
Lansing.
Haven. No, they're going to Grand Haven, right? They're on the west side of Michigan in American Pie.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think
I
it's
did not
Grand
know
Haven.
Yeah, it is. I think you're right, actually.
Oh, because what's his name?
They talk about going to Ann Arbor.
The director.
The
I think,
director's
is
from Michigan. He's the guy
Paul
who did.
White's.
Or is he? No, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the guy who did Freaks and Geeks.
Judd Apatow?
No. The guy, not Judd Apatow. The guy who wrote it
It's East Great Falls High School
in West Michigan.
in West Michigan.
But they go to the beach for the summer, rent out the beach house. Like, it's got to be in Grand Haven.
Hey, that's where my parents live.
Yeah.
Gonna DDoS my parents real quick. Paul Feig?
Fish.
Feige?
Beige.
The guy from Marvel?
No. There is another guy named Paul Feig.
The guy on the cooking show? Or the chef show?
No, the guy he did like Bridesmaids, The Heat, Spy, The Female Ghostbusters,
Oh,
Simple
yeah.
Favor, Last Christmas. He's from Mount Clemens.
Oh, that's why. The guy who wrote American Pie is from East Grand Rapids.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. And graduated from the University of Michigan.
Wow.
I think Tammy had some just solid lines. I mean, the entire speech she gives about how student body president doesn't matter. Don't vote. I don't care. Vote for me or don't. Who cares? Don't vote. Whatever. I also like when she's talking about being suspended. She's like, it's like a paid vacation. It's like when a dog pees inside and you give him a treat. Oh, can we also talk about how they have the kid in the wheelchair?
Oh, the
Say,
unopposed vice president?
Even if I can't really stand up for you, I will.
That was funny.
Oof.
I think we mentioned it earlier, but the prayers just were cracking me up.
Yeah.
Tracy's like, "Oh Lord, I know I don't ask for much, but you know, when you kicked out Tammy, it really meant your hand was there. So if you just go that extra mile and help me win tomorrow, it'd be great." And then Tammy's like, "Yeah, I don't really believe in you, but I guess I should practice since I'm going to Catholic school." I still want Paul to win.
I want some leather pants. I want Paul to win. Not that see you next Tuesday, Tracy.
Oh my god.
And yeah, then Paul's like just wholesome as fuck.
Right.
He's like, "Thanks for all your blessings. You've given me many things, like good health, nice parents, nice truck. And what I'm told is a large penis. And I'm very grateful. And I'm worried about Tammy.
I love her
I don't
just
believe
so
she
much.
stored a." Yeah, he's like, "Please help her be a happier person because she's so smart and sensitive, and I love her so much. And I'm nervous about the election. I guess I want to win it all, but I know it's totally up to you. You'll decide who the best person is, and I'll accept it. Forgive me for my sins, whatever they may be. Amen." You're just like, God, Paul. and then doesn't vote for himself. You know, he's like, "Oh man, I just feel bad voting for myself."
I don't know. Are you supposed to vote for yourself?
He's so stupid, but he's so wholesome at the same time.
Yeah, when Jim's asking him, he's like, "What's your favorite fruit?" "Pears." "Pears, good. All right. Wait, no, apples." "All right."
I like
apples,
bananas too. Good, Paul. Good.
That's democracy.
Was there a favorite scene for you guys? I mean, it may be tied to your favorite quotes, but
The Dave Novotney scene, it just hits you out of nowhere.
Oh my god.
yeah,
One more thing about Tracy I think you should know. And then it's just a close-up of Dave Novotney.
And he's
Yeah,
talking
just-
about her in a very inappropriate way.
just everyone's
Yes.
like banging everyone in this goddamn movie. You know, it's like just keep it in your
Yes.
pants. Don't ruin your life. Come on.
Turns out
See,
that's
I
applicable
loved-
in real life too. If you just keep it in your pants, you'll probably turn out okay.
I enjoyed it more so when Dave Novotny gets caught and he's sitting there crying like
Yeah.
a little girl. But we're in love.
Yeah. Dave, did you cross the line with this young girl?
You 100% just said what we were all thinking.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then like later when Tracy's like talking about him and she's like,
Yeah.
it's like somebody got too emotional or something like
Someone
that.
got too soft on me. Basically.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Like,
God, when
geez,
they're going
that's
back and
rough.
forth, having that passive-aggressive argument, that was fun to
Oh
watch.
yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, "My mom's a lawyer." And if a teacher
Wow,
who's
paralegal.
trying
She's basically like, I'm not going to take shit from some guy who can't get his wife pregnant.
Yeah, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my
Oof.
god, that is brutal.
How did you know about that?
Right. How does she know about that? Oh, well, she was told by what's his face?
Dave.
Oh.
I just figured that out
silly
now. I was
Dave.
wondering the same thing. I was like, how did he know? But the Dave thing.
I was totally expecting Tracy to like do more in a sense of like ruin Jim's life. Like I thought she would be the one to say, "Hey, like Linda and Jim are fooling around."
Yeah, she didn't really do anything to him particularly.
She
was
set up
just
to be
herself.
a lot more of a
Yeah.
protagonist,
Well-
or antagonist than what
Yeah.
she comes across as.
Well, I think I made it believable. She's just a high school kid,
Right. She's just
She's
a
not gonna
kid.
Yeah.
drive around causing real life mayhem.
Although she did cause mayhem by taking down the signs and blaming someone else. And then when that person confessed, she yelled at them more.
See, another scene where I was expecting something else. I will say
Yeah.
Do
this
what
movie.
you gotta do.
This movie was good at not like being what you would
Predictable?
predict to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Jim is like getting ready for the for his rendezvous with Linda, and he's like sets up the pop quiz. He's like, "I got 48 minutes."
Oh, the bathtub scene.
He
Oh.
sprints to the motel and to the store, and then like washes his balls in the bathtub. It's like, what the hell?
That scene, I read it online, convinced the director to actually do the movie. He didn't want to do just some dramatic high school movie, and then he read that part of the script, and he's like, wait a minute, this guy washes his balls in a motel bathtub? You son of a bitch.
I'm in. Quick ball wash, 48 minutes in and out.
I have 48 minutes to drive here, set the room up. All of this in a rush until I wash my balls, in which case I got plenty of time, and then run back.
Hopefully they don't get dirty in the meantime.
I also like when he goes back. He goes back to the motel and he's like, "Do you want the same room?" He's just like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine."
I don't know if we mentioned this one. When Paul goes on to the narration, he's like, "I was so surprised that day Lisa Flanagan asked me for a ride home and ended up blowing me." And then he's like, at the end of the monologue, he says something along the lines of like, "We'd end up going back to her place to fucking have a hot tub."
Yeah.
What does have
Yeah.
a hot tub? That line
I
just
was
like,
I was so what is that quote? Because that quote is hilarious.
We're going to need our
Can't find it
Nebraska audience to call into the show or write into Dylan's leftist Twitter account and tell us if having a hot tub is a thing you do in Nebraska.
My leg wasn't bugging me too much, and the weather was so nice. And every day after school, Lisa and I would go to her house to fucking have a hot tub. And then they go to Spider, and they're like making out in the hot tub.
Poor Tracy. What she thought was her girlfriend just broke
Tammy.
up with her and immediately...
Tammy.
Oh, yeah, Tammy. And then immediately starts doing her brother.
Yeah. Poor brother, too. Honestly, if her brother knew that Tammy did that to her, he probably would be devastated and wouldn't be dating her. But he
Oh,
never
yeah.
knows. He never finds out.
No.
I don't know why.
it's
She
just
stormed
out of
off
the blue.
that day, and now she's my girlfriend. Okay.
I love Paul. He's so innocent.
Yeah. Very naive.
So this week's podcast is brought to you by Surfside Sips. They make high-impact glass straws. They're a family-owned company, and what's better than saving the turds? You know.
The turds.
The turds.
You know, I'm one of those people who hates using paper straws. Paper straws fucking
Paper straws suck.
I
They are the
love
worst
what
solution.
they do. I love that we're minimizing the use of plastic straws. I enjoy that. Paper straws suck ass.
They suck. They are the worst possible solution because turns out, guess what? Paper and water don't fucking mix, okay? I don't know who came up with it, but it doesn't work. Even though they put coating on it to try and help, it doesn't work. It just gets soggy and you end up throwing it away anyway, and that's just more waste. And so,
But you know what doesn't get soggy? Glass.
yeah.
Glass straws from Surfside Sips. And if you want to get some glass straws from Surfside Sips, you can use coupon code cocktails and classics spelled out. That's cocktails AND classics for 20% off your order.
And if you're looking for a business to support during this time, seems like a good idea. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers to celebrity memoirs, news, business, and self-development. But essentially what it is every month you get one credit to pick any title plus 2 Audible originals from their monthly selection. It's So, Dylan and Zach, what are your experiences with Audible?
So, working from home nowadays, I recently used Audible to rip through one of my favorite book series. It's always great to go back and revisit some of your favorites.
And since we've recently done From Russia with Love, you could check out some of Ian Fleming's books on Audible. They have Dan Stevens, Toby Stevens, Damian Lewis, many great narrators. Read through Diamonds Are Forever, From Russia with Love, Live and Let Die. So maybe you want to get into the James Bond novels as well as the movies.
To start your free 30-day trial, go to audibletrial.com/cocktails and classics, all lowercase. Again, that's audible.com/cocktails, AND classics. After your free trial is up, it costs $14.95 per month. However, there are no commitments, and if you can't decide what to listen to, that's okay. You can roll your credits over up to 1 year.
Well, around here, we let Zach take over. Give us a little trivia quiz. So, Zach, what do you got for us on election this week?
Well, for election day and the election week movie, I have an election-related question to open it up. Question number 1. Which U.S. president said this was his favorite political film? Is it A, George W. Bush, B, Barack Obama, or C, Bill Clinton?
Oh, God. I knew fucking Bill Clinton was going to be the last one.
Oh, no. What were the first two options again?
W. Bush and Barack Obama.
Wasn't it last time it was Barack when it was One Flew Over, I believe, right?
Yeah. I just feel like Bush... W. Bush, not H.W. Bush?
Right, Junior.
I mean, I don't know. I gotta say W. Bush, honestly, just
The
because...
second coming.
Well, it came out in 99, so that was like Bill Clinton's last year as president. I feel like he wouldn't have really talked about it much. So I'm going to say
Probably not after what happened when he was president.
Yeah.
I really loved...
I really love this movie about having sex with a teenager.
When that teenager blew that guy, funniest shit I've ever seen.
But yeah, so I'm going to say W.
I guess I'll go with, much like the last time, I will say Barack. I think he's a man of mystery, Mr. Barack Obama. And I think maybe he really just loves him some Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon.
I'm also gonna say Barack, but I think it's because he, as much as he loves being a public servant, he doesn't love the politics. That's why this movie is his favorite political movie. Doesn't take itself too seriously.
Well, I can see why Bill Clinton would be a huge fan of this movie. And I'm sure he does like it, but he never came out and said it. Barack Obama, however, did.
Wow.
Yes.
What the hell?
Woo!
It's so odd.
This is Barack Obama's favorite political movie. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to get him on the podcast.
We should. We should get.
We'll call
We
it
should get him and Michelle. Michelle has a podcast, but we're probably too
We might
small
have to
time
do
for
two
her.
separate. They're both pretty big figures at this point, given their careers. We might have to. We can't double book those two.
Yeah.
What if we did get the president of the United States on our
What
shitty
if we
podcast,
get
though?
here's what we need to do. We need to take an interview that he's already made and just splice it up so that we just put it on our podcast like he's talking to us.
Who used to do that?
Maybe we just have to wait till the actual election is over, and then maybe Barack has an open schedule. Right now he's
or maybe he doesn't.
campaigning a bit.
He's busy. I mean, if he comes to Michigan, though, maybe he'll stop by.
Do you mean Supreme Court Justice Barack Obama?
All right, guys. Question number 2.
Or Michelle. Put them both on there.
That's good.
This question, I'm going to be interested in the answers because I think it's either a really easy question or a really hard question. Question number 2. Oh, by the way, we have a Ben and Dylan tie with a point each.
I'm going to come back.
With this question, you definitely are.
Nice.
With question number 2, when Jim McAlister reveals his adult video stash in his ottoman, Which of the following titles does not appear in his porn collection?
Oh.
Is it A, The Big Election,
Oh my god.
B, Double Penetration 4, or C, in parentheses, Abella, Danger is my middle name?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I have no fucking clue.
There were 16 movies there, by the way. Not including the one he took out. I guess that makes 17, unless there was another layer.
I was gonna say, did you freeze frame to?
I did. I
double check?
paused.
Alright.
It's up there for about 2 seconds. I paused and then had to go up there and like turn my head because it's not really a close shot.
Oh, jeez.
You weren't meant to read the titles, but one of us did.
So it was election.
The Big Election, Double Penetration 4, or in parentheses, Abella, Danger is my middle name.
I don't understand that one.
I'm gonna.
He comes out and says to the world,
What?
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say double penetration 4. I think Jim's a real wholesome guy, and the thought of some MMF
just a teacher
just does
watching high
not.
school porn.
Yeah, I don't know if he's that
The
wholesome.
thought of some MMF is just not down his alley.
It's not his jam.
He's not sharing.
I think I agree with that answer, but for a different reason, only because
I love the reasoning. I don't care about the answer.
it's just not a creative title for a porno, you know? Like, that's just
Hey, we've
that's
already
just-
made 3 of these. What should we
just-
call the 4th one?
right. I mean, you know, if you get something right the first time, like PlayStation, you know, PlayStation.
Backdoor Sluts 9.
The most genius person at PlayStation ever was whoever named the PlayStation 2, and that is it. And that, but
What do you mean? You don't like being Xbox, then Xbox 360, then Xbox
No.
One?
Cam wants double penetration Series X 720.
so yeah, it's just not a clever enough name. So that's what I'm gonna go with that one.
I'm gonna go with the last one because I think Zach gave himself away when he said something about Cameron not knowing what he was talking about. So I'm assuming it's referencing some sort of porn star.
I'm assuming it's referencing. There are many winks going on behind the scenes that the listeners can't see right now, but I can. Yes. The
see?
Abella in parentheses is a reference to an adult video actress named Abella Danger, who was not born. Wait, no, she was 2
What?
years old when the movie came out, I believe. Let me fact check this real quick because I always
Hold
do
on.
this thing where I leave
Hold on.
myself.
Let me
Zach has
search
to go.
this real quick.
I probably
Zach
can't
has to go
Google.
incognito.
No.
Open
I
up
was-
some porn real quick.
I was. That's a good thing you guys said that because I was not incognito for a second there.
No, Zach's one of those dudes that if you go on his computer and go into Google, you just
actually-
see all of his porn searches.
No,
She
it's not
was-
Google. It's Firefox. He uses Firefox just for porn.
She would have been 3.5 when the movie came out. So. She
So it is
probably
that
did
one then,
not.
right?
It is Abella
No.
Danger is my middle name. The Big Election was in there, and so was Double Penetration.
Wow,
4.
not creative.
But none of
Damn.
the others in the Double Penetration series.
Wow, they're really missing out.
No.
So we got Ben in a commanding 2-point lead. Dylan
gonna
with a
come
point,
back.
and Cameron bringing up the rear. Yes, you will.
I'm gonna get 2
back with
points on the
this
next
question.
one. Nice. I'm gonna get 2 points on the next one. Or Ben's gonna lose a point either way.
That answer was so wrong, Ben. You lost a
It
point.
was a nat 1.
Then I award you no points.
God have mercy
and may
on your
God have
soul.
mercy on your soul.
A simple note would have sufficed. Thank you.
Question number 3.
In Hubie Halloween.
Halloween's over.
Halloween's over. Long live Halloween.
Really, it hasn't begun. All right, question number 3. What is the mandatory minimum sentence in years for first-degree sexual assault of a child in Omaha, Nebraska?
Oh my god.
Is it A, 3 years, B, 15 years, or C, 50 years?
I mean, I gotta hope it's 50, right? Like
It's
that's
Nebraska, man.
Ben's gonna go.
I
first.
gave you
what
options.
you said. First degree, right?
Yes.
First-degree sexual assault.
All right, I'm gonna go 50 years. It's gotta be right. First degree, like that's not good. That's obviously none of it's good, but that's like the worst degree. I'm going to go 50 years.
Is that how the degrees work in the legal world? It's
Yeah.
like golf. The lower the number, the worse it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
That's
in
how I
golf,
play
the
golf.
lower the number, the better it is. But
That's not how I play.
I see. But yeah, that's my answer. 50 years.
Well,
If it's A, I'm going to be pissed.
Cam didn't even want Ben to go first.
No, I'm already dead last, so it doesn't matter, but that's my answer.
Playing for pride. I like it.
I'm gonna make Dylan take the cop out. I'm gonna say 15.
Oh, I was actually gonna say 3. I feel like Omaha, Nebraska is gonna be some fucking backwoods bullshit.
Ooh, Dylan shading all of our listeners in Nebraska right now.
All 5
Dylan
of them.
from
Plain
Alabama. Anything else you want to say about Nebraska, Dylan, before we reveal
Yeah.
the answer?
You fucking windy ass, goddamn Dust Bowl bullshit.
And your football
Fuck
team's
Nebraska.
bad.
They are bad, actually. They're not
Your
good.
football team sucks. You
The
have
football team-
you have the
to make
college
this-
the college baseball World Series. That's kind of cool, but like
To make this episode even more topical as we're talking about the election, as we're on the time of recording, Nebraska lucked out that Wisconsin had to cancel their game, so they don't have to lose this Saturday. Thanks, COVID. All of Nebraska is like, thank God for COVID.
all right, Zach, break Cameron's heart.
All right. The answer is 15 years.
Damn.
Not as high as we would like it to be, but higher than you thought it might be.
That's not enough.
Get the brooms, boys. That's a 3-question sweep.
I was
That
gonna
is-
say 15, but
I'm fine to be wrong on that answer. It should
Huh.
be 50.
Ben forced me.
Ben
Yep.
stood him up and knocked him down.
Cam, you should have let Ben go first because maybe he would have said 50.
No, I was gonna go 15.
Fuck you,
regardless.
all right?
I don't have that much faith in Omaha, Nebraska.
I don't have that much faith in any of the fucking Midwest, but you know what? Like we said, no one has seen this, so we don't have any nostalgia to this movie or any before ratings. So we're just gonna give you our final ratings. What did you guys think?
I'll go first, as I have for all the other ones too. I thought this was a funny movie. It was a pretty good dark comedy satire on, elections in general. Like how they said repeatedly it wasn't a popularity contest, but then it was basically almost a popularity contest. And so, yeah, I thought it was funny. Obviously, like some of the content of it is not great. However, I think it deals with it in an okay way. Like, it clearly shows that it's wrong. Like, a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie is wrong, and you're not necessarily laughing at like what exactly happened, but kind of how it unfolded and some of that stuff. And honestly, like, sometimes it's just like you get cringe of like how pathetic some of these like men are. Like, the original guy, Dave, and then later even the main character too. It's just like how like sad and pathetic they end up being, which kind of adds to like the dark humor in it. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty entertaining movie, pretty funny, not going to like, blow you away or anything, but it was good.
I'm gonna echo that 7 out of 10 with my own 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it for the most part. I'd seen a couple of Alexander Payne's movies, so I kind of knew the like dramedy aspect that he usually brings. I felt like cringing for a lot of this movie, which I enjoy cringe humor, but sometimes when you watch things with those situations, it's just like physically like, ugh. Because like Matthew Broderick just kept fucking up, and you like when you watch movies where the character is just constantly doing wrong, I feel like it, and he's not necessarily a bad person because at the start of the movie you're watching it and it's like, oh, like he's a teacher and he loves doing it for like the kids, and he's like this good guy at the beginning of the movie, but then when you like watch him with like Linda and he's like doesn't want to be seduced by this student, you're just like, dude, just fucking keep it in your pants and like chill out. Like, what are you what are you doing? And then swings the election and all this stuff. And the whole movie could just be, if you took it out of the trash, you'd be fine. That said, I think the movie it's quirky as hell. All the characters are relatable, I think. I think anyone knows a Tracy or a Paul or a Tammy in real life. And seeing those characters portrayed how they are, I think they're very relatable, and it's like real life. And I recommend this movie. If you love dark comedies, it's definitely one to add to your list. And I think that it is kind of a hidden gem, a cult classic, and more people should peep it.
Yeah, having no nostalgia for this movie, I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was above average. It kept me entertained. The story isn't super predictable. It's got some good moments. It's got some kind of cringe moments, and sometimes it leaves you going, where the hell is this thing gonna go next? But yeah, if you like dark comedies, check it out. If not, I don't think you're really missing anything super crazy.
I'm also going to give it a 6 out of 10. I did enjoy this movie much more than I thought I was going to. When I first saw this movie, I'm like, oh, okay, it's just another, like, him versus her high school setting. I thought it was going to be kind of boring, and it ended up being a lot better than I thought. Probably because it is so dark, and it hits you in moments that you really just don't expect, which I think is something you can't say of most comedies out there nowadays, especially once you've seen one of them. Like when you've seen a Seth Rogen movie, you kind of know how it's going to go. When you've seen a Will Ferrell movie, you sort of know how it's going to go. I didn't feel that way with this one. I thought Matthew Broderick was really good. I thought Reese Witherspoon was really good. And yeah, similar to Ben, I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it was definitely a fun movie, and I'd recommend it.
Hopefully you're going to give this podcast more than a 6 out of 10. And if
We know you're not,
this,
but
if you enjoy this, don't forget to rate and subscribe, and check out our Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod. Use the hashtag Cocktails and Classics. Send us your movie and drink recommendations. Grab some straws from Surfside Sips. Use code Cocktails and Classics for 20% off. We love them. You'll love them. Great Christmas gifts. Think eco-friendly. Sign up for some Audible trials, you know? And share us with your friends. As always.
Cherry Republic, if you're out there.
Oh, dude, Cherry Republic, hit us up. Banana Republic, hit us up. Give us some of them fucking chinos, dog. And watch responsibly.